Although utility and strategy is more important in Siege than most games, because it is still an FPS, aim is a crucial factor in winning your games. If you want to rank up fast and dramatically increase your KD, these 5 aim tips are the fastest way to do that. We'll cover everything from how to improve your first shot accuracy, ways you can get more kills immediately before your aim even improves, and how to warm up fast so you can start hitting more shots today. If you enjoy the content, leave a like and let's get started. The first tip to make you infinitely better at aiming in Siege is that movement is actually very important when it comes to aim. So for example, if I'm gonna take a gunfight on this guy right here, is it better to peek like this and try to shoot him? I just kind of swing, maybe I miss a few shots and I'm just kind of standing out here in the open. Or is it a better idea to peek for info and then re-peek and pre-fire? That's all movement because you're doing a quick peek, right? Shitty quick peek, but a quick peek nonetheless. And then you know where he is, right? You know he's right here. You can aim your crosshair there and you can pre-fire him like this. Now, after you quick peek, sometimes they'll pre-fire this angle if they're used to people quick peeking like that. So what you can do is you can crash peek. That way they don't know where to actually pre-fire you. Or you can even drop shot them. Now it's a little bit weird, but imagine you get quick peeked, right? And you're like, okay, I need to pre-fire him. So if you were gonna pre-fire me and then all of a sudden I come out crouched or I can come out prone like this, there's no way you're going to expect that. Here is exactly why you need to use a lower sensitivity. If you are using a high sensitivity, for example, I'm on 400 DPI and we'll go 30-30. When I move my hand to the right, and I don't have a mouse cam, but bear with me, from here to here is a small distance. So if I am peeking this, right, and I need to flick to their head, then I have a very small margin for error. I can barely move my hand or my crosshair is already off of them. This means you have to have perfect motor skills to actually be able to aim at this guy's head. However, if you turn down your sensitivity, now not too far, you need to be able to move your mouse around. But now, if I aim at Ella's head here, I can move my hand a lot farther and still be on their head. So then, if I'm going to peek an angle like this, then I have a much wider margin for error. Because even if I'm terrible and I aim all the way over here, it still hits her head. Or if I accidentally move my hand super far to the right, then I'm still on her head. Versus if I was on a higher sense, the same distance would put me all the way over here and I would miss that shot. Now this next tip is isolating angles. Now here's exactly what I mean. If I were to take a gunfight on this guy, the worst thing to do actually would be to peek him like this. That is because you have to worry about this angle here, even this angle here. There are a lot of people here that can swing me while I'm trying to take a gunfight on this guy. It is much harder to win a gunfight if I swing this guy and then have to flick over here and then this guy's still shooting at me and I'm taking a gunfight against multiple people. Or even all the way over here, if I peek like this guy kills me no problem and there's just nothing I can do. So instead, you have a couple of options. Now this one's not the best one, but it is an option if you need to take this gunfight. If you are someone like a zombie, then you can throw a Kiba here and then peek where you can only be exposed to this one angle. Or the other option is to be farther back so that way you can hold this single angle right here. This way, there's only one angle you have to be worried about. If this guy swings you, you're going to see him right here. If this guy swings you, you are also going to see him right here. This means you cannot get peeked by multiple people at once. Because trust me, it's a terrible idea to take on multiple dudes at once. Now, the other option is if you don't have to swing him, you can hold an angle back here. This is an off angle. Nobody realistically holds this position right here, but it gives you a perfect sight line where if this guy peeks you, everybody peeks at the exact same angle. Because if you're gonna peek here, then you're going to check this angle. You'll probably check these angles over here. You'll probably check this angle right here. Who in their right mind would check this guy standing out in the middle of the open? But from his perspective, this is a fantastic spot to hold because no matter where I peek from, if I peek from here, if I'm all the way over here and I'm swinging him over here, no matter what, he sees me at the exact same spot. Now, if you are on the other side, the way to isolate angles is like so. You need to understand where are all the positions the enemy can play. For example, if I swing here, I don't want to peek out just out in the middle of the open and hope that I see the guy. I want to check this angle first. Then I want to check for anybody playing here. Then I want to check for anybody playing behind this here. Then I want to check for anybody playing in study and holding an angle on me. Then I need to make sure that there's nobody playing behind this couch, nobody playing behind the vault. And you can see every time I check one of these angles, I'm only exposed to one angle. I'm not worried about multiple people peeking me at the same time. Now, this next tip is perspective and peeker's advantage. First, we'll go over perspective. You can see from his perspective, he cannot see me right now. However, I can see him. I can see his head. I can see his whole arm. I can see his leg. He's very, very obvious. Now, back up from the angle. Now, can you see me?
Yes.
So that's because the further away from an angle you are, the better advantage you have. Because you have to remember, you are not just your camera. You happen to have arms, legs, a body, and it extends farther out to the sides than where just your camera is. Next is peeker's advantage. You can see the ping here that Goomba lives in the Netherlands, like a filthy communist. That means the total of our ping is 150. That means for the round trip time for my data to get to the server and his data to get to the server and for everything to compute together, it takes about 150 milliseconds. That means if I swing him, I will see him 150 milliseconds before he sees me. That gives me a huge advantage, especially if I pre-fire to win the gunfight before I'm even on his screen. So that means whenever you're clearing an angle, always peek fast into the angle. That way you get all the peeker's advantage you can get. And finally is the best way to warm up to play better in Rainbow Six Siege. There are two main ways to warm up. One is the basic one that everyone knows, which is the shooting range. Just use these settings here and shoot these bots. Your goal should be to one-tap them to the head as quickly as possible. Just do this for as long as you feel like you need to until you feel warm, and this will basically just practice your actual in-game aim. Now, the next method is free-for-all deathmatch. If you come to playlists, go to training, and then go to deathmatch here, I turn off team deathmatch, but it's completely up to you. The reason I like free-for-all deathmatch is because it gives you a ton of gunfights within a short time period. If you play a match, it might last half an hour. During that half an hour, realistically, the most kills you'll probably get is 10, and most of the time, much less than that. And these are real players you're playing against. They're going to be moving the way that players move, and they're going to be taking similar gunfights to how you would in an actual match.